What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a Tom Henderson rumor, this time regarding Dead Island 2. Now, we've talked about this game before. We did a video a few months ago, and Tom, again, has kind of been the spearhead of this movement. He kind of came out in the first, I'd say, couple months of the year and simply said, like, hey, the game's alive. Like, for those that think the game is dead, the game is alive. It's doing actually kind of well. And I believe back then he was saying that the game was supposed to release by the end of this year. So it seems like it's shifted a little, but I really do trust Tom Henderson. He most recently got a ton of Skull and Bone things back in July when they re-revealed it. He was really the only one talking about that game, that would happen. So I really do trust him. And pretty much, again, things have been moved, it seems. Now it's that the game is going to be re-revealed at the end of this year. Now, his source said that the Game Awards make sense. That doesn't mean it's going to be at the Game Awards, but probably the very, very end of this year is when the game will be re-shown to the public. And they expect, remember when they were kind of going through their financial year, their fiscal quarters, they said that this game, Dead Island 2, was scheduled to release by March 31st, 2023. So it can come out all the way, up until then, and it would still... Now, those have been delayed before. Skull and Bones, actually, let's go back to that. That has been pushed multiple times from the, it said, okay, it's supposed to release by March of 2020, then March of 2021, then March of 2022, and finally, March of 2023, I believe, was this last one for Skull and Bones. So you can always move that, but I do think it kind of lines up that if you re-revealed it, let's say even early December, I mean, the game could come out February or March, and it would still make that kind of deadline, or, April, May, right? And you can kind of just push it another half year, and you'd be good. So what they say this game is going to be, it's going to have a big focus on cooperative play with several play sessions at Dam Buster focusing on the feature. That's the play test that was going on for this. In addition, it's also been suggested that the cast is completely new with 5 to 6 new characters coming to the game. That's not, very surprising. He said that since he put out videos on this, one source who has played the game says it's probably my most anticipated game after playing it. The game is in a decent state of development. Sources have also backed the report that Dead Island 2 takes place across several locations, including Hollywood and San Francisco. And that's pretty much it. So that would be, again, like I always say for these videos, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, at this point, though, right, for Dead Island, it's like, I mean, you could believe it's completely dead. If you believe it's still alive, you probably get excited for this. If you believe the game is like never coming out in our lifetime, then maybe, you don't believe it. But I've actually it's kind of been a thing with me that I've supported these games, or I've believed in these games that have been in development for like 50 years. Skull and Bones, you could even argue Hogwarts Legacy, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is one that I still believe in, Dead Island 2. Not believe in necessarily the quality, but I just believe they will eventually come out. That's always been my thing. So I've always been on this board that Dead Island 2 will come out. I'm not saying it's going to be good. At the end of the day, I think Dying Light 2, I think people expected that to be more of a hit when honestly it wasn't. It was a solid game, but it wasn't like revolutionary kind of in the way that the first game was. So, Dead Island 2 going up against Dying Light 2 in back-to-back years, I think if you would have told people that a year ago, you would be very afraid. I don't really care. Like, and I'm not saying like Dead Island 2 is going to be massively better or worse, but it's like, let's just see what this game can be. I'm not actually a fan whatsoever of the first Dead Island. I really am not. Have gone into multiple long stories on that game before, but Dead Island, obviously spawned Dying Light, and it's an okay game franchise, I think, but I am excited to see it finally come back. I mean, maybe they can nail it, depending on who this person is that said it's their most anticipated game, going forward. That's high regard. I wonder what else they are into, though, if they're into any other kinds of games. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.